You have talked a lot about Carrier at your rallies.
I do.
And Evansville lost Whirlpool a couple years ago to Mexico. Our big issue right now is the aluminum industry. We lost a smelter, another one operating at 40%, and China is the big reason. How do you think that situation should be handled?
Well, I've been talking about it more than anybody. It's one of the biggest things I speak about is what's going on. And you're right, your aluminum industry has been killed, but your steel industry is probably even worse. What's happening, and they're dumping product all over the place, and everyone's losing their job, and the industries are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And if I'm not elected president, you're not going to have an industry, okay? Because I know how to stop it. These politicians don't know how to do anything. I know how to stop it. And you literally won't have an industry. So I just, you know, it's so sad when I look at what's going on, not only in Indiana, but all over the United States. It's just so absolutely sad. And we will stop it, and we'll stop it quickly.
How will you stop it, though?
Hold it. Are you working? Are you together?
Not together. We're here for the Hannity thing.
How about doing it after I'm finished with the interview? Is that okay, you think?
Yep.
He's putting these lights, I'm saying, what's going on? So, okay.
I'm sorry, you're saying,
I assumed it was your president.
Nope, just us.
Okay.
So how would you stop it, though?
Okay. What you have to do is they are devaluing their currency, and they're devaluing it big league. And they make it impossible for our companies to compete. On top of that, they're dumping. They're dumping all over the place. You've got to stop them from devaluing currency, and they will do that. The reason they'll do that is we have all the power, because we're like the piggy bank that they keep sucking money out of, and jobs. So they keep sucking our money out of the country. We've rebuilt China. We have single-handedly, I mean, they've done a smaller number in Europe, but we have single-handedly rebuilt China. And we have all that power because we can, whether it's tax or whether it's saying we don't want you selling certain product, or we're not going to allow you to dump your steel, because they're dumping steel and they're dumping product that make it impossible for industries to compete. And somebody would say, well, you might get cheaper steel. Well, but we're losing all the jobs. So I'd rather pay a little more for the steel but have all the jobs. Right. Now, I understand it, but these politicians don't understand it. And I'm self-funding. I'm putting up my own money. Right. Very importantly, they're not. They're all controlled by the people that we're talking about that are killing the country. I mean, the politicians are totally controlled by special interest and their donors. So they're never going to stop it, because the people on the other side, on the China side, are paying off our politicians.
Preventing it from progressing. At the rally in Evansville, you spoke kindly about Dr. Ben Carson and Marco Rubio, and kind of softened the tone on Bernie Sanders. Why are you softening the tone a little bit? Well,
no, Bernie Sanders it's a rigged system, the whole political system. It's rigged. And I'm the only one that figured it out after 50 years. I mean, you look at it, I figured it out. This whole delegate system is all rigged. And except for the fact that I'm winning by so much, it's impossible for somebody to come in and break up the cartel of senators and these people that are all being taken care of by the special interests and will never make America great again. It's being eaten alive. You talk about the aluminum industry, the steel industry. We're being eaten alive by these people that keep in office. So the bosses control the system, and it's a terrible system. It's not right. So as a self-funder, I'm going to do what's right for the people. But the system is rigged, and it's rigged for Bernie Sanders also. It's very interesting, because these special delegates. Now, the Republicans have it rigged even better, because it's less obvious. But it's the same kind of thing. And if I weren't winning by so much, it would be because I'm winning by millions of votes and hundreds of delegates. If I weren't winning by like this landslide, and Indiana can put us over the top. That's the beautiful thing. But if I weren't winning by an absolute landslide, somebody could never get in, because the system is so run by the bosses and run by the special interests.
You mentioned Indiana putting us over the top. I spoke with the RNC on Friday, and they said after Indiana, it's not over. So why are you saying that Indiana is, you know, the make or break?
Because it makes it, I'm already over 1,000 delegates, and if I win Indiana, it makes it impossible for Cruz. He can't win anyway, because he needs 120% or something, and you can't get 120%. If I win Indiana, essentially, and I think even the pundits are saying it's over.
Right. Ted Cruz announcing his running mate, of course, Carly Fiorina. A lot of people wondering, when are you going to make that announcement, and what kind of qualities are you looking for in a running mate?
Well, always somebody that can be a great president, because that's really the biggest purpose. But you'd also want somebody that you're compatible with, that can help you, that can help get legislation passed, et cetera, et cetera. So, you know, I'll pick the right person at the right time. But he did this because he's getting clobbered. He's losing by a lot. And he thought maybe he could get some decent publicity out of it. And he got killed by the horrible deal that he made, the ridiculous collusion deal that he made with Kasich. which has been just absolutely, I mean, you know, we call him Lion Ted Cruz because now he denies, now he denies that he ever made the deal. And it was done in writing. Everybody knows about it. It was
News
done.
releases were sent out.
It's incredible. They had a press release sent out, and he now denied that he ever made the deal. I mean, this guy's incredible. I've never met a person that lied like Ted Cruz. But he's not a good liar because he gets caught all the time. But he actually said he didn't make the deal. When the deal bombed, and of course the deal was violated before the ink was dry. When the deal bombed, he said he never made the deal, and he put out press releases.
Why did he say the deal
I think it's been
bombed?
very bad. Well, because it's just a deal that Kasich violated immediately, and so did Cruz. They both violated the deal about 2 seconds after they made it. The deal has been uniformly, just killed, and many of the people, because they've done polls in Indiana, they said they're voting for Trump now. Now they've had it. It's just part of this political system. It's a rigged system, and the deal showed how rigged the system is.
You met with Governor Mike Pence a couple weeks ago, and he, in the end, wound up endorsing Ted Cruz.
Barely.
Barely endorsed
Barely.
him. Why do you think he endorsed Cruz over you?
Because his special interest told him he had to. Because his donors told him he had to. And he's a nice guy. And by the way, he was very nice to me. I mean, most people thought what he said about me was better than what he said about Cruz. But in the end, he needs to run for election. He needs the money of special interest. He needs the money of donors. He has no choice. And so he did. But what he did is he started, before he even endorsed Cruz, he said how good I was. And I appreciate it. I understand he's under pressure. As a politician, he's under pressure. But politicians are very much controlled. And, they're very subservient to special interests and to people that put up the money so they can run. But I appreciated the way he did it. And in the meantime, I got the vote of Bobby Knight. And as you know, to me, that's one of the great endorsements ever. In fact, a friend of mine, I said, who would be the best endorsement in Indiana? They said, Bobby Knight, if you could get him. And he called me a year ago to say, you must run. So I said, Bobby, do I still have the endorsement? Like 2 weeks I called him. I said, do I still have the endorsement? You better believe it. I'll be there tomorrow, right? So, but Bobby's great. But Bobby gave a very powerful endorsement, and he's going to be with me today.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, no, it was a great opener, I should say. You opened for him. What made you decide?
I opened for him. It's the first time I've done that. I actually, no, I did it. I
Yeah,
said,
right.
let me go out and introduce Bobby.
What made you decide to do
Because
that?
I think he's great. He's a winner. He's tough, but he's smart. You can't just be tough or just smart. The combination is very important.
Yeah.
And he's very smart, very tough, and he won. And the people of Indiana love him. You were there. I mean, the place went crazy. They didn't want to sit down. And, Bobby came back to Indiana, which was so good. And I tell you what, that was one of the most beautiful things. To watch it was so incredible. And now he's coming today, and we're going to have a lot of fun at 4 o'clock.
I want to shift back to the economy. The area has lost a lot of coal jobs. What do you think should be done about that?
Well,
if
we
anything
sell
at all?
coal to China, but we're not allowed to use it. So China can use it, but we can't use it. I'm opening up the coal industry. We're going to have clean coal. We're going to have gas. We're going to have everything. We're opening it up because our country is suffering. The coal miners are out of work. I'm opening up the mines, and we're going to have clean coal. And there is a technology now. You have clean coal. Now, China does not clean their coal, by the way. China just spews it into the air. But we're going to have clean coal, and we're opening up the coal mines.
So what should happen with the Clean Air Act?
Well, it's got to be, look, we are not able to compete with other countries. I say 2 things about environmental. We need clean air, we need clean water. And we're going to have clean air, cleaner than it is now. And we're going to have clean water. We're going to have very clean, but we have to open our industry. There are so many rules and regulations that businesses go through right now, they can't compete, Tina. They can't compete. And I hear it all the time. Even last night I was with a group from Indiana. They say we can't open a business because there are so many rules and regulations now that you no longer can compete with companies from other countries. And we're going to get rid of a lot. The waste, we're going to get rid of a lot, which will probably be 70% of them.
Why do you want this? So this is something I've wondered the whole time. You have everything you could possibly think of. Why do you want to be
Now
president?
that is a good question. Look, I've done a good job, but this country has been great to me. I've made a tremendous fortune. At the same time, I've enjoyed doing it. I've loved doing it. And very simply, I want to put back, and I want to make America great again. I know I can do it, because there's so many things that can be done that are so simple. It's actually harder getting in than it is doing what I want to do. It's like sometimes a great college. It's harder getting into the college than it is getting through the college.
Right.
But I want to make America great again. I want to give back, pure and simple.
no matter how people feel about your policy, I mean, you're a great conversation starter, and you're getting people passionate and excited and interested in the political process again.